Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be continuing with the series Guardian Showdown, where essentially I put two guardians up against each other in a few different categories to show which guardian is better for you. If you have any suggestions for my next Guardian Showdown, drop them down below in the comments. So this Guardian Showdown is going to be Ariel up against Mulan, two fairly popular guardians, so let's just get straight into it. So as we already know, Mulan and Ariel are melee guardians, so you're primarily going to be controlling them. This is mainly because the AI don't usually get the maximum damage output out of a melee guardian, whereas when you're controlling them, this isn't an issue. As well as this, melee guardians are quite weak when it comes to being able to take a hit. Again, this proves to be less of an issue when controlling them. The first category I'm going to be speaking about is damage output. In this category, there has to be a clear winner, and that is Ariel. Although it takes some time for Ariel to ramp up her damage, there isn't really an argument for Mulan. Although her special ability is great for enemies that are crowded, Ariel does this, and arguably in a better way, because you don't need to stay in one place for a very long time, where in Mulan's case you need to stay in the middle of the crowd in order to get the damage in, allowing you open to take more damage yourself. For comparison, a maxed out Mulan has 5,416 attack, whereas a maxed out Ariel has 5,738 attack. Without any talents or abilities, Ariel comes out on top. However, this isn't really much of a difference. What makes Ariel so much better when it comes to dealing more damage is her easy to gain attack buffs. She can get up to 10 attack buffs fairly easily, and that is from her special ability, her core ability, and her signature ability. Whereas Mulan can only get one. So if I scroll down and find Mulan and go to her talents, you'll see this talent called Tempered Blades. And even this one attack buff requires you to hit multiple enemies with a single basic attack, which can be difficult and requires you to maneuver yourself in a certain way, whereas with Ariel you don't need to do much at all. This then moves me on to my second category, and that is skill. Mulan's special is very easy to use, and it won't miss because all you have to do is use the special ability and you can do damage just by staying close to the enemies. However, like I mentioned, the talent Tempered Blades can be quite difficult to do, especially if you're just starting out. Whereas when it comes to Ariel's special, it can be quite difficult to pull off, as you can miss entirely, so that's why Mulan is primarily a great starting guardian for newer players, but eventually she will not be as effective as Ariel later down the line. Other than that, Ariel is pretty straightforward to use. Just use the special to gain those attack buffs and deal some damage. Now on to the third category I want to talk about, and that is survivability. In truth, this isn't the most important factor because you will be controlling the guardian, but it does matter when you're in harder content where one hit can leave you on very low health. A maxed out Ariel has 1,418 more health than Mulan, which is around 25% more. However, Mulan makes up for it as she can gain up to 8,000 armor at max level, whereas Ariel can only gain up to 6,000. So Mulan does rely on gaining armor to have that survivability. However, as you can see if I go to Mulan again, she will be able to gain armor from her signature ability. So she isn't reliant on a tank such as Baymax for that armor, which is great. Especially when Mulan is paired with a tank that doesn't gain armor for allies such as Oogie Boogie. Now onto the talent. When it comes to utility, Mulan doesn't have much going for her at all. She can gain some defense buff, which also can contribute to her survivability. However, Ariel is different. She has quite a lot of utility. She has two ways in which she can cleanse. She has a passive cleanse on her core ability, but this isn't really reliable as it is only a 35% chance and it happens every 2 seconds. And the chance is increased with the talent Cleansing Current, which you might want to have, and as you can see, I don't really have that equipped at the moment, so it's not really that viable. The second cleanse is on her special ability. where she cleanses all damaging debuffs, which is great when you have multiple damaging debuffs on you. And Ariel also has a purge ability from her talent, as well as some healing when you cleanse a damaging debuff, which also adds to her survivability. Overall, in my opinion, I do think Ariel is much better than Mulan. And something I would like to add, and I think that is really important that hurts Mulan's viability in harder content is her special. Her special does not counter other specials, which does become very important, especially when you're going up against Maleficents or any healers of some sort. Whereas Ariel does counter specials and has a wide special range, which means that she could counter multiple at once, and yet another reason for why she is better than Mulan. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down below your showdown recommendation, and I'll see you next time.